Audi is expanding their EV lineup, and the new Q6 e-tron and the SQ6 e-tron are one of the newest offerings in their lineup. Today we have the SQ6 e-tron Sportback, so we're gonna talk about what this thing is from a technical standpoint, how I feel about the interior space, and obviously what it's like to drive it on our favorite back roads. So let's get started. If you're a fan of the Q8 e-tron, I'm sorry to bring this to you, but it's gone, and you can look at the new Q6 as a potential replacement. So it's a mid-size SUV which competes with cars like a BMW iX or a Mercedes EQE SUV, and comes as a regular SUV or a coupe SUV called Sportback that we have today. It starts at around $65,000 for the base Q6, which is a rear-wheel drive model. All-wheel drive is a $2,000 option, and can go up to 80 grand for the tested SQ6 Sportback. Now, one of the biggest changes, besides the design, is an entirely new 800-volt EV platform co-developed with Porsche. So, from a technical standpoint, we have a multilink suspension front and back, which, in case of the SQ6 and higher trims of the Q6, comes with adaptive dampers and air springs to maximize comfort and, at the same time, provide good handling. Now, there are a few powertrain variants. The Sportback is always a dual-motor, all-wheel drive setup with one electric motor on each axle. The Q6 Sportback has 456 horsepower with 319 miles of range. The SQ6 has more power, 509 horses with less range, about 283 miles. The regular SUV also gets a 322 horsepower rear-wheel drive variant with 321 miles of range, so there's a significant improvement if we compare it to the Q8. Now, all models use a 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack, and as of charging times, it's an 800-volt architecture which can receive up to 270 kilowatts of power, meaning if you use a fast charging station, you can get this thing from 10% to 80% in about 21 minutes. Now, before we talk what it's like to drive this thing on our favorite back road, let's take a look inside and talk about the interior space, because there are a lot of changes which some may not like. Okay, so we're inside the new SQ6 e-tron. Now, just like the exterior, the interior features Audi's new design language, and if you're a fan of simplistic, almost boring and sterile design of Audi's previous generation interiors, this cabin might shock you a little bit. There's a lot happening when you look at the dash, and if you love screens and lights, you will feel right at home. There is a multitude of ambient lightings, and the dashboard is dominated by 3 different displays. 2 of them are for the driver, 1 for the passenger, which I questioned so many times, and to this day I didn't meet anyone that finds it useful, but it's there if you want to show off to your friends. Now, while the interior quality suffered compared to the Q8, and it just doesn't feel as good as it did in older Audis, the fit and finish are still great, everything is well put together, and at the end of the day, you do feel like you are in a luxury product. Definitely better if we compare it to the Mercedes EQE SUV or a BMW iX. Another new thing is technology. So the software now is based on Android Automotive, and it works great. The interface is clean and relatively easy to get around. Not at the level of BMW's iDrive, and you have to touch the screen to control it, as there's no controller, but it is better than what we had in previous generation Audi models. From the usability perspective, there's also an improvement. There is a little bit more storage in the center console area. You have a dedicated spot for your phone with a wireless charger, and the trunk is also pretty spacious. Obviously, the cargo area is compromised in the Sportback that we have today, but if you need more space, there's a regular SUV. Take a look at it, it will be more practical. The front seats are excellent. They provide great balance of comfort and support. They can be heated, cooled, and even feature a pseudo massage mode. Basically what it does is it inflates and deflates the lumbar support, but it helps with fatigue on longer trips. Moving to the back, being 6'1", I can comfortably sit behind myself. The headroom isn't compromised despite the sloping roofline in the Sportback, and as a midsize SUV, the SQ6 e-tron passes the family car test. Overall, the interior is a mixed bag. On one hand, the quality is a little bit down, but Also, it's finally more interesting, there's more color options, and the technology implementation at the end of the day is also pretty good. But the real question is what it's like to drive the new SQ6 e-tron. Well, let's head into our favorite back road now and check it out. Okay, so we're behind the wheel of the new Audi SQ6 e-tron Sportback. I have somewhat high expectations because it sits on a platform that Audi has co-developed with Porsche. Obviously, every brand has different suspension tuning, steering calibration, powertrain calibration, but it's also an S model, so let's see what this thing is capable of. Let's quickly put it into the dynamic mode. We have region braking off, we're gonna floor it, and it's quick. Just like basically every other EV on the market, we get hit with that instantaneous torque, and the SQ6 is really, really fast, over 500 horsepower, so it's not a joke. 0 to 60 takes around 4 seconds. I was able to get around 3.8, so that's a pretty reputable result, and rumor has it there's going to be an RS Q6, so that's going to be pretty exciting. I'm guessing it's going to have over 700 horsepower, maybe 800 horses, so something to look forward to. But let's get back to the SQ6 and talk about handling. One thing that really surprised me about it is how nimble it feels and how willing to rotate this thing is. Obviously, when we drive it dynamically and have it in dynamic mode, it's gonna send a lot of torque to the rear axle. It's gonna get this thing to rotate, and I also really like the inputs. Not gonna lie, this surprised me in a positive way because Audi has never been associated with a brand that makes super high performance models that prioritizes driving dynamics, but the SQ6 is pretty nice. It feels smaller than it actually is. Obviously, you can feel its weight, over 5,000 pounds, but we have that lower center of gravity as with most EVs, and that nimbleness really surprised me. Obviously, the steering doesn't give us any feedback, so that's one area where something like the Macan EV is going to be better. That also sits on this platform, but wow, pretty cool. I really enjoy tossing it in corners. It feels more like a hatchback rather than an SUV. Obviously, there is noticeable lean and body roll even after putting it into dynamic mode, which stiffened up the dampers and lowered the car. But okay, the brakes, I can't really complain. They do a pretty good job with slowing down this beast. Obviously, as an EV, at first the car is gonna use region braking or electric motors to slow down, and then we're gonna have conventional pads and rotors. But okay, Audi, are you going in a direction to give us fun to drive EVs? If you do, I am all for it. Alrighty, well, that was fun. Let's go back into comfort mode. The suspension is gonna get a little softer. The air springs will raise the car, and let's talk about what it's like to live with this new generation Audi EVs. A few years ago, I drove the Q8 e-tron, which I really liked, but my big issue with it was range and energy management. It wasn't the most energy efficient vehicle. I was averaging around 1.7, 1.8 miles per kilowatt hour, which is far from perfect. Now, the Q6 is a little bit better, but there is a little asterisk. The problem we have in New Jersey right now is it's pretty cold. It's 20 degrees, so those are not optimal conditions for electric vehicles. With that, I've been averaging around 2.3, 2.4 miles per kilowatt hour, which makes me think that in nice weather, 60, 70, 80 degrees, you can probably get 2.8, 2.9, which will give you up to 290 miles of range with that 100 kilowatt hour battery pack that we have. But as of driving, it's super smooth. The powertrain is very well calibrated. When we have it in comfort mode, it very nicely and gradually accelerates. The computer does a pretty good job with distributing torque between both axles, and it's one of those vehicles that when you drive your internal combustion engine car your entire life and want to try an EV, you're gonna get in this thing and it's not gonna be frustrating to use. It's gonna be super easy to drive, and Audi did a decent job. We have a couple of regen modes. We can have it completely disabled, so as you lift up the accelerator, the car is just gonna coast. Using the paddle shifter, we can get it into level 1, level 2. You can put it into B mode, which is a one pedal drive. As we lift off, the car noticeably slows down, and there is also a setting for auto regen. Okay, there we go. Well, I have to go back to D. But what this thing is going to do is, based on the road ahead of us, traffic conditions, stop signs or anything, the car is gonna try to figure out itself when to slow down. It works pretty well, it's pretty intelligent. I'm not the biggest fan of it in general, so I have a tendency to just disable those things and use a one pedal drive. But if you want to mess around with it, see how it works for you, feel free. It's actually a pretty cool feature. As of comfort, it's an Audi, so it's pretty comfortable. The suspension does a very good job with any road imperfections that you have on the road, bumps, potholes, expansion joints, any rough pavement. It literally glides over them. We do have winter tires on our tester with 20-inch rims, so there's a lot of sidewall and the compound is softer, so that helps with ride quality. But knowing that it's an Audi, it rides pretty well. The cabin's also very quiet. We do have laminated side windows up front, not in the back, but the noise levels are pretty low, and in general, this is a very well thought out EV. I mean, the technology might be a little frustrating. I've had some issues with the infotainment system freezing, but there's gonna be software updates. Audi's gonna invest in this technology, so pretty good job. Not bad. Still not as fun to drive as something like a BMW iX, and maybe not as comfortable as a Cadillac Vistiq, which is a bigger vehicle, but it's that nice in between. So yeah, with that, let's head into the final thoughts and summarize this thing. Okay, so let's sum up the Audi SQ6 e-tron Sportback. Now, as of now, there isn't an official replacement for the Q8, so if your lease is up, you may wonder, should I stay in the Audi family and downgrade to the Q6, or maybe get a BMW iX? Well, let me put it this way. If you compare the Q6 e-tron to the Q8, it's slightly smaller than the Q8 was, and it also doesn't ride as well. And also, just as with most new Audis, the interior quality is a little bit down. But as that new generation of electric SUVs, it's pretty competitive, especially as an S model. It offers decent comfort, spacious cabin, pretty good performance and driving characteristics for what it is. I mean, it's not a sports car, but if you care about straight line performance, it's quick and it finally has a decent range. Anyways, if you guys have any questions about this thing, drop a comment and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later.